Our first word for today is the word publication. Publication is a noun. It's when you are making something that you've written public, then you are putting it in a publication. So our root word is public. Publication is a think to spell word. You think publication to write publication. Hands under your chin. How many syllables are there in publication? Publication, 4 syllables. What's the first syllable in publication? Pub. What's the first sound in pub? P. Next sound in pub? Which u. Next sound in pub? B. What's the next syllable in publication? Li. First sound in li? Ol. Next sound in li? I. Which I-E. Next syllable in publication, K. First sound in K, K. Which K will I choose? K. S. Next sound in K, A. Which A? A. Last syllable, publication, Sean. First sound in Sean, Sh. Which sh will I choose? Sh. Tall letter sh. Use the beginning of any syllable after the first one. Next sound in Sean, Ah. Which O-U. Last sound in Sean, Which Just Step 2, analyze and check for markings. Take your red pencil. Does P get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does book get a marking? No. Only sound understood. Does ol get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does it get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does k get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does a get a marking? Yes. It's a vowel saying its name. Is there a rule letting it say its name? Yes. Vowels A, E, O, U usually say A, E, O, U at the end of a syllable. So it gets a long marking. It's a vowel saying its name, and there's a rule. Does sh get a marking? Yes, it gets an underline. It's a multi-letter phonogram saying its only sound. Does get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does n get a marking? No. Only sound understood. All right, now we're going to mark it for proper pronunciation, which is publication. Does p get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does get a marking? I'm sorry, that should be only sound understood. Does get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does book get a marking? No. Only sound understood. Does ol get a marking? No. Only sound understood. Does it get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does k get a marking? No. First sound understood. Does a get a marking? Yes, it gets a long marking. It's a vowel saying its name, and there's a rule. Vowels A, E, O, U usually say A, E, O, U at the end of a syllable. Does sh get a marking? Yes, it gets an underline. It's a multi-letter phonogram saying its only sound. Does get a marking? Yes, it gets a schwa marking. It's saying it schwa sound Does n get a marking? No. Only sound understood. Look at your word. Make sure that your word in your notebook looks just like mine. All right, let's decode. I write publication. I read publication. All right, rules for publication. Oh, one other thing I want you to know about publication is that B wants to jump ship. It wants to be over here in the second syllable. So we syllabicate because we divide between 2 consonants, unless the consonants form a digraph and are sounded together. But you do hear the B kind of in the middle. It's publication. All right. Other rules for publication. T-I, S-I, and C-I are used to say sh at the beginning of any syllable after the first one. And this is after the first syllable, so it's allowed. We already did vowels A, E, O, U rule. We also have, we know that shun is a suffix. So we have divide between the root and the suffix. And here we have public as our root word. We have vowels I and Y may say I at the end of a syllable, but usually say E or I. We also have when a single consonant comes between 2 vowels or vowel sounds, we divide before the consonant if the first vowel is long. All right, I'm going to pause this and then we'll go on to word 2.